The Nigerian Senate has called for the urgent review of Nigeria's power purchase agreement with independent power plants as the country continues to suffer epileptic power supply. But the country risks a scenario similar to what happened with PNID if it decides to pull out, as it's likely to incur financial liabilities running into $1.2 billion. National Assembly correspondent Tijesu Adeoye reports.
Nigeria's power sector has over time fallen short of expectations, and efforts are now in motion to actualize the country's power recovery plan. But if pursued along lines of retrieving the generating plant from present owners, the country is likely to incur huge financial liabilities. In 2015, the Buhari administration signed a power purchase agreement with Azura, a power generating company, to enable it secure a $237 million loan to finance its 450 megawatt power projects in Edo State. This agreement is just one out of many other power agreements signed by government, which has been largely unproductive as Nigeria continues to deal with an epileptic power sector. Now the Senate is seeking to review and terminate some of these agreements after considering its committee's findings that reveals that the country has spent over 1.5 trillion naira and yet the sector remains underdeveloped.
What we've identified so far is lack of capacity. We have the wrong set of people holding this asset. What kind of review can take them out? So clearly, those agreements will need to be cancelled because they don't have capacity.
They are not going to do it. Even if you put $100 trillion, they are not going to do it. One, they don't have the expertise. They don't have the ability to do it. When we are starting this privatization, our course was to, if you want to talk about gas supply, or you bring a Japanese gas to partner with Nigerians. One, they have ability to borrow because you need a lot of money.
If we will be giving these people, these companies, 700 billion, 600 billion, to the tune of over 1.5 trillion at the moment, and this thing is endless, I think the time has come for us to reconsider this privatization.
The chairman of the committee warns that this may end badly for Nigeria if it withdraws from these agreements, as it risks losing $1.2 billion from the Azura power deal.
They can draw down immediately from our foreign reserve. That is how we've been tied up. Once we default, they can go straight without reference to anything, and we signed and draw down from our foreign reserve.
Even as the national parliament that is scheduled with appropriation, have we looked at even copies of all these agreements and the several interpretations that are bandied around? Yes, I know there are watertight agreements. I also know too that agreement does not play obligation on one side of a party. If there are competencies agreements, issues about whether there has not been fundamental breach of even that agreement by the people that are holding us will have to be examined.
Even as lawmakers worry over the possible financial liability, it agrees that the time has come for more radical and drastic steps to be taken if it must take up this daunting task in ensuring Nigeria's growth and development. Tijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.